Hey, welcome back to the Frank Driscoll Show. We have special guest Kim Barber with us, and I am super excited to have her on. She is just doing amazing things. Thanks so much for joining the show, and how are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I've been a fan of yours for a long time and met you a couple of years ago, and so I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes, that's right. She actually met me when I was doing an event, and we were at an event together. And you never know. This is a cool thing about relationships. You never know where it's going to take you. And now I think she was learning a little bit from me, and she was excited. And now I get to repay and watch how amazing she is and all the great stuff that she's doing. So I'm super excited to have you on the show, and I cannot wait to get started. So just for those that don't know, give us a little bit of a background of kind of what led you into real estate and what did you do before.
So before this, I actually graduated college with a nursing degree, and really, it was not for me. It was my family's all in the medical field, so I kind of just did it because I thought I was supposed to. And I married Ben Barber 13 years ago, and I remember it was about 11 or 12 years ago, and I came home from work and I was just in tears, and I'm like, I just hate it so bad. And he's like, oh, just quit. I'm like, I don't think you can do that. Like, I got a degree for this. He's like, yeah, just quit. And he was working, he's a big REO wizard, and he was working for Green River Capital at the time. And they were looking for just a code violation coordinator, just an entry level job. And so I came in and I just fell in love with real estate. And so I've been doing it ever since. So I worked there. I was a senior asset manager, was my final position there. And then we moved to Texas. Ben was an operational director for the VA with a company, an outsourcer called VRM. And I was the assistant vice president over the mortgage bankruptcy department for JP Morgan Chase. And we realized at one point, I mean, we were both executives. We were making good money, but we were at a ceiling, and it was really frustrating to look to our left and right and be like, I make as much as you guys, but I work my ass off and I have better ideas and I do more. And so it was really frustrating for us. And at one point we were like, we can't, we need to, this isn't going to give us the lifestyle that we want. This isn't going to give us the lifestyle that we want for our kids. And so we cashed all of our chips in and we sold one of our cars, and I cashed out my 401k and my pension. And we drove back to Utah, and we're like, okay, we have 97 days before we're broke. We're either going to make it big or we're going to be living in my mom's basement. So luckily it was the former. So
that's an incredible story. I love the fact, especially for those that are watching, that it's never too late. Even though you're down one path, if you feel like this is not fulfilling and you're not meant to do it, it doesn't matter. Even if you've gone far down that road, that you can make the switch and then look at that success of kind of starting probably in more of an entry-level position, rising to the top, changing the destiny, then taking another step. So even going there, it's almost that it's not enough because you still realize this isn't where you want to be, and then going chips all in, selling the vehicle, doing everything you can, and then having basically a window or a countdown that if you don't make it by, you're in trouble. I mean, would you say that was kind of the start into real estate?
It was terrifying. We had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. I was 9 months pregnant. And I'm like, okay, my insurance will last for another 120 days. I mean, it literally was like all of our eggs in one basket, go big or go home. I remember the first month, because it took about 65, 75 days to get our first paycheck, And by the third month, I remember Ben came to me and he was almost in tears. And he's like, we've made more money in the last 45 days than both of us did as executives last year. And we had an 8-year plan to pay off debt. And we're like, let's just write checks and we'll pay it all off now. And it was a beautiful thing. And it's a lot of work, but it was worth it. All the blood, sweat, and tears. So
how amazing was that feeling? If you go back to the emotional point of when you just realized that you fulfilled what your goal was and you hit that first step, is there anything else like that in life of going all in, then hitting that goal and achieving that?
There really isn't. Really, and I hate to be kind of an asshole, but the whole I told you so factor, because my parents, my friends, people at work, people at Ben's work, everyone's like, you guys are crazy. You've made it. Ben, clawed his way up from, he's a high school dropout, and he clawed his way up, and he was getting promotions over people that had their master's degree, and he'd made it. And I worked from the very bottom. I started as a collection agent with Chase and worked my way up to the assistant vice president. And everyone's like, you're insane. You're living the American dream. You guys are both making 6 figures. And I was like, we need more. And I could feel it. It was just a gut feeling. I knew there was more. And so it was really nice to be like, oh, we're buying a house and we're buying a car. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, you did it. So it was a really nice, satisfying feeling.
Well, take us from that when you hit there, and then kind of what the niche that you've really, really exploded as one of the top people in the country. Kind of take us on that journey from the regular process or transactions of real estate to finding this niche that we're going to talk about here in a moment, and how that came about.
Yeah, sure. So when Ben and I were working, we were both licensed agents. We were both working probably 80 or 90 hours a week, each of us. And I was doing 100% lead generation, a lot of the stuff that you teach, right? The cold callings and the FISBOs and the expires and all of those. And I would just send him all day. Like, I mean, probably he was, I think he put 64,000 miles on his car the first year that we were full-time agents. I know, right? And I got really, really good at the lead gen. But I was doing the numbers, and Ben, for anyone that knows my husband, he's like a numbers statistics geek. Like, he would make me keep track on a spreadsheet so we could track every single thing. And it just, after a while, it gets like emotionally and mentally exhausting, you know, to do that constantly. And then we got to the point where we were buying realtor.com leads, and it was great. The return was great. You know, we get 3 or 4 or 5 times our return, but it was very scary because you have to enter into a 12-month contract with them for every zip code that you buy. And at one point we were spending, I think, close to $10,000 a month on lead generation. So if we had a bad month, not only are we like super negative as far as having to pay that bill every month, but our household expenses, our business expenses. So it was really stressful. So Ben kind of took some time and he mastered the Facebook marketing, the lead ads and all that kind of stuff. And that's not like, I'm not a tech savvy person. I have no desire to be. I don't want to read a single book about it. I can sort and filter on Excel, and that's about it. But I heard about this program called Home Partners of America, and it was a rent-to-own program. And I didn't quite get it when I first heard about it. And so it was about 2 years. And then I had one client who last minute, her deal fell through. It was literally like 3 days before closing. And she had a collection pop up on her account. And I'd been working with this woman for 2 years almost, about a year and a half maybe. She would call me every single week. Oh, we paid down $37 on this card, or like my credit score went up 4 points, and she was so excited. Like, I think I was as excited as her to actually get her into a home. So I was heartbroken when this fell out. And so I was doing everything I could. I was calling other lenders, seeing if they had different regulations. I was calling hard money lenders. I'm like, she'll be ready in 3 months. Can you do this temporary thing? I called my mom. I'm like, hey, you've been looking for an investment property. I have one for you. Like, I did everything short of like buying the house myself. But, and so I remember hearing about this program. And so I went back and I researched it, and I figured it out a little bit. And it was a lot of hurdles and a lot of angst, but we finally got her approved, it was the same property, got her into the same home on this rent to purchase program. And she ended up buying the home about 9 or 10 months later. And for me, like, it was the most clear moment ever where a light bulb just went off, and I was like, this is it. This is how we're going to stop spending so much money on lead ads. This is how we're going to stop having, because he was working so much doing lead generation with the Facebook marketing stuff that he wasn't out doing showings as much as he should have. So we'd kind of taken a little slump as far as where our career was. So it was very frustrating, but I knew it. And I told Ben, and he's like, what do you mean this is it? This is a nightmare. Like, it was a nightmare to get her approved. It was a nightmare to get the contract accepted, the inspections, everything was like a nightmare. I'm like, I know, but if I can figure it out and dial it in, I'm like, this is going to be our bread and butter. So I spent, I don't know, maybe a full year, like really, really studying the program. But so after I closed Gina, I think it was 5 months later, I closed my second deal with Home Partners. And then about 3 months after that, I closed my next one. And then I had, 2 in the next 3 months. And then as soon as that happened, it just like clicked, like everything. I'm like, I know exactly how to do this. I know how to get people approved. I know how to get the properties approved. I know how to close these. And since then I was closing 4 or 5 a month, just with Home Partners outside of our normal production. So it kind of just exploded. I know, it was crazy. So this last January was, award season, right? Where I got like the top 1% award, and for our brokerage, the top 500 in the company and in the country, a couple of different things. And so people were calling me like, what are you doing? Please tell me the secrets. And I was spending so much time like explaining to everyone. I'm like, I need to just like put a program or something together because this is exhausting. I was explaining to everybody, but yeah, it's been a huge blessing. I really believe in the program, because one thing, when me and Ben started our business, we decided that we said, if we just do the right thing and we do right by people, it'll always come back. And it's always kind of been really a little bit heartbreaking for me that I've met so many good families that have just like, shit happens, whether it's been like medical stuff or divorce or bankruptcy or the recession and they haven't bounced back yet. For whatever reason, they cannot get into a home. and they have this beautiful family and they're like living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and it's so hard for me. So it's really very satisfying for me. And I really love it because I'm helping people get into homes that literally would not be able to otherwise. So I like every aspect of it.
No, that is great. And then like let's go in. So you figured out like some of the things I've heard you mention before. So one thing is if you apply but you apply incorrectly, now there's a waiting period before you can reapply. So it's very critical,
Right.
right? Like part of the
Yes.
program I think goes over like you've got to do this the right way. So make sure, right, you're filling out. So can you go over like a
Right.
few of the things kind of that you go over in the program for those listening, and we'll make sure to put links for it for you guys if you're interested in learning more about it. I highly recommend it if they just go
Yeah.
but give them a few of some of the sample things that you kind of teach in that.
Yeah,
So if they are
absolutely.
interested in that program, that they can at least reach out and find out more.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple of different things. So when I was first helping people apply, I had a 90% denial rate. And now I'm at about 50-50. About one out of 2 people that apply are approved. And so that's one thing where there's, just the right questions to ask and things. The biggest thing for me was marketing. Like, how do I explain? Like, I could barely explain it to Ben, let alone explain it to somebody in an elevator pitch, like why this program is better than renting. It's better than, anything else that where their options are limited. And so, so it really took me a little bit of time. So I remember the first time I tried to explain it to somebody, it was like a 6-minute. So then they come in and they buy the house, but then like, you don't have to. So when they buy it, hold on, let's go back. Okay. At the closing table, it was awful. So now I have it down to a really concise pitch where my exact verbiage, and this will help explain it to anybody that doesn't know what the right to purchase program is. I basically say to them, when they see one of my ads, and they're all free ads that I do on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, Rentler, a couple of different places. But when they reach out to me, what I say to them is, so it's a rent to own program, but there's no obligation to buy. Your only commitment is to a 12-month lease. At the end of the 12 months, you can either vacate and get your full deposit back. You can extend your lease yearly for up to 5 years. Or if you do love the home, you can buy the home at any time during your occupancy through traditional financing. And that's a really clear way where people really understand it. But it took me, 30 crash and burns before I kind of got the verbiage down. So, and then the free marketing too is another thing where I already wasn't working. I already wasn't generating leads. I already wasn't doing my cold calls. So, and luckily I had Ben and my team to kind of float me while I was figuring this out.
Mm-hmm.
So the free ads for me was like the icing on the cake, because like I said, I don't want to know Facebook lead ads. I don't want to get into all of that stuff. Yeah. So, but like Marketplace, like I buy shoes off Marketplace. I love Marketplace. So if I can copy and paste, I can go in and I can post those free ads. And it really does bring in these just really neat families that are looking for a home in a nice neighborhood for their kids where they can ride their bikes and go to a good school. And I can give them that. So.
Yeah. And guys, like, it's just like this. You can try to figure it all out yourself, and by all means, if you have time, do it. But it's going to take you a good year of going in, or you can just shortcut it, invest the money. You're going to get massive return on the ROI. So I would definitely check it out and take a look, because that business is exploding and it's only growing, getting faster. But she already has the program turnkeyed out, and I've seen it in action. So I can tell you firsthand that it just works well. So if you're interested in getting that other tool in the tool belt that not a lot of other agents even really know about, so it's kind of your little secret weapon that can help offset things, do it. And then let's talk about something else. You recently have made the move over to EXP. Can you explain where that decision came from? What caused you to join EXP, and kind of go into a little bit of that?
Well, it's interesting because it's almost like the thing that I didn't know that I was looking for, right? Because me and Ben were very, very blessed. We do really, really well. But it's exhausting. Like, it's been 5 years of nonstop being on call 24/7. I can't even count how many, family vacations we've missed, how many, Christmas parties we've left right in the middle of because somebody wants to go see a house right that second. And at a certain point, like, I don't even remember the first year of my son's life. I'm like, God bless. I'm glad that you're alive. But, it's just so much work and so much effort. And we want the mailbox money, that residual income that comes in without us busting our ass 24/7 all day, every day, and being on call. That's the hardest thing, is we're literally on call all the time. And no matter what's happening, you know, if it's my son's kindergarten graduation or whatever, like I have to drop everything and go that minute. Like that's just kind of the role that we all chose to be in. And so Ben and I have been talking actually for about over a year about all these different strategies on how to get the residual income. We've been building a team for that same reason. And so when I heard about EXP, and I had actually heard about it a couple of times before, and it was kind of in one ear out the other, because the people that were pitching it to me were either brand new agents or, you know, and I'm like, well, you don't really know, you know, you're new. But then when I had heard about it from you, I was like, okay, it's at least worth looking into. And I looked at it, and it was like, I looked at the model and how it works and how it's structured. And I was like, this is it. This is our retirement. This is where we're going to not be working 80 hours a week, and we're not going to be on call, and we're going to actually go on a real vacation with our entire family and not bring our cell phones. And it's going to be amazing. And so I was really grateful for the opportunity. And so, I mean, we're brand new into it, you know this, but we already have a handful of agents under us. And I already, like, before I go to sleep, and I like map it out in my brain, and I'm like, okay, this person, I can call this person, and I just feel like it's like the most beautiful way to, as an exit strategy. Because as agents, what are you going to do? Like save and save and save and save and save and hope you retire? Like, I don't know about you, but that sounds really exhausting to me. So yes. The residual of this is brilliant, and I liked it because it's like, I'm not asking someone to buy lipstick or get oils or whatever. It's so you have to have a broker anyways. It's a necessary evil of our job. You have to have a broker. So why not have a broker where you can have other agents with you and you can make residual income off of everything that they like? It's a no-brainer. Like when you explain it like that, and when you really understand the concept of it, you're like, duh. Like anyone that says no, I'm like, I'll pray for you, because you clearly make bad life choices. So.
Well, I would say this. I think one of the things that I didn't really realize would be so huge at EXP till after I've been in it for a while. One, it gives you options, right? Where I thought there were some, I didn't know how many there were. Like, you know,
right.
for the training, the education, and then for me, what impressed me, of course, the rev share. I was always interested in that, but the collaboration. Like I never dreamed. I'm such a solo like person. I'm always someone that, man, always tries to figure it out on their own, doesn't ask for help. I just like that. Okay.
Yeah.
EXP has opened me up to be such a better person to try to help more people and collaborate. I mean, I've been on the phone with people, they're already at EXP and I'm helping them. I'm saying, oh, you should do this or this or try that. I don't know why, but when you're around really successful people that are sharing with you tons of things, it's almost like your own mastermind group with, I guess, being part of EXP.
100%.
And you have all of these people that have a vested interest in your success and the people outside of it because of stock, right? We're on a common ground for building stock. So this is absolutely something that I didn't expect. And yes, the revenue share, I think 80% of the agents, you know, want to make a certain amount. I'm already at that. And it's going to be the same for you. Once you have that feeling, it's going to completely change. So it's going to be interesting. We'll definitely bring you back after a year, and we'll ask about your experience then.
It won't take me a year. Are you kidding? I'll see you in 6 months, and I'll be
6 months. We'll book it.
Top.
So if there were people watching, and let's say they wanted to learn more about your niche, what would happen if they came under you? Because now you're vested in them, like, and they were to join EXP under you. How much would that change as far as like the collaboration of them being in that system, in that group with you? But now being partnerships with EXP with you, how would that kind of relationship
go? They're like my team. So my team right now are like my own little baby birds, you know, like I feed them and I nurture them and I take care of them. And there's been quite a few people that have come through the rtpmastery.com, the right to purchase program, that have, you know, called me and texted me and gotten together with me. And I give them the feedback that I can, you know, but as far as like, if they were underneath me, it's like, you're my baby birds. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'll take care of you. I'll feed you. I'll, you know, give you the program. But it's a beautiful thing. And the one thing too, that I was a little bit nervous about, because I really, really take my name and my reputation very, very seriously. Want to go and, you know, preach this and kind of shout out from the rooftops until I had some firsthand experience, because I was a little bit nervous because it is basically a virtual brokerage, right? Like, am I going to get the support I need? Am I going to have the, the online systems that I need? And it has been the smoothest, cleanest transition ever. The systems are amazing. Like, I've been so impressed with it. My husband always jokes, he calls me a brokerage whore because I've been in 5 brokerages in 5 years because I've never quite, found one that really works for me. So I'm a little bit spoiled, right? But everything about it has been better than any of the brick and mortar, brokerages that I've been with. So it's for me to like tell somebody like, I am 100% confident this will have the systems, the marketing needs, the support that you need to like move forward. And then like you were saying, the camaraderie, it's like everybody under me is like, they're mine, like I will take care of it. If their numbers aren't up, I will call them. What do you need? What can I help you with? Like
Absolutely.
Ben's an REO wizard. I'm really incredible at the RTP stuff. Like, I don't care what the economy is doing or what the market's doing. Like, I will make sure that you are successful, period. Like, no matter which direction we have to go, there's always a way to make money in real estate.
Absolutely. And I think, like I said, the longer you're in, the more you can experience. And a lot of people commonly say, I wish I would have been this earlier. I mean, I was a little hesitant to at first because I like to research things, but it has been the single greatest decision in my life. I've never seen an opportunity like
I'm going to tell your wife that you said that, Frank.
She's aware of it.
Better take it back, right?
Trust me. She also probably would say that. Okay. And
all right.
And the crazy part is it's gonna open your mind if you're open to it and give it a shot. I always say this: look, if it doesn't work or it's not what you want it to be, you can go back to your other place in six months. Okay, 3 weeks, for whatever you want to go back. You can always go back. Keep your signs, keep your cards, right? But give it a shot. I think it's an amazing opportunity. That's why it is the fastest growing, I believe. And with your story and success, is there anything else you'd like to share to the audience that's listening? We'll put all of your information below to make sure that they know how to get in contact with the programs or link or reach out to you. But is there anything else you'd like to say before we sign off?
No, well, I think with EXP, one thing, I had one guy join, he's like, I don't want to recruit agents. I don't want to talk to agents. I want to like turn and burn and kill it. I'm like, okay, awesome. You need a broker anyways. You have awesome, you have everything you need anyways, but you also have your upline where it's like, yeah, we all have a broker, if there's a legal dispute or if there's an issue or whatever, that's who we go to. But like, where can you go into a brokerage and find a mentor that is 100% dedicated? And like, I want my team and the people under me to succeed just as much as I want my own numbers to succeed. Like, if it ever happens that somebody under me like beats my numbers, I'll be thrilled, because not only is it like totally satisfying for me being like, I helped them get there. That's awesome. But like everybody's benefiting from it all the way up. Like, you're my mentor and I'm their mentor, and it's a beautiful thing. So I really like it. Oh, and we did for you for the rtpmastery.com. If you use keyword Frank, it'll give you 50% off. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Guys, hook it up. So thank you so much, Kim, for coming out. Make sure you guys reach out to her, ask her any of those questions. I'm telling you, this is kind of a hidden gem. This is something not all the agents know about. And when you really understand the program, it just gives you more options. And certainly reach out, if there's anything that you think she might be a great fit, or any questions about EXP to any one of us, and we're more than happy to help. But thanks so much for having you guys here. Make sure you like and subscribe and do that. And thank you once again for being on the show, and we'll see you next time. Take care, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Frank.